Hello, so the purpose of this video is to show you how to use the Storyboard That website. I think that this website's really fun because you can really customize your comic book in a lot of different ways. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. All right, so if you look at this bar up here that has all of these options on it, each one is going to give you a sub bar, meaning a bar below it. Sub meaning below. So this bar gives you all of the scenes that you can choose from. So right now you can see all these backgrounds, and you may be able to tell that these are all town-like. They're outdoor, things you would expect to see in a town. And then you can even scroll over to see all of the options. So there's a ton to choose from. You can also choose home or indoor options. So this gives you like bedrooms, bathrooms, living rooms, transportation. So lots of different roads. Historical. This one might come in handy if you're doing the historical assignment. US history. So there are a lot of different options to sort through. So you could probably just have fun looking at the backgrounds, but I'm going to choose school. And I'm going to make my background a school bus. So you'll notice that this menu on the side pops up. I can rotate the image, I can flip it, or I can rotate it upside down. So there's that option. There's this layering option, which I don't really recommend messing around with because it's kind of confusing. And then you can also change the colors. So you'll notice like the door is changing. So depending on whatever feature you're working with, you can customize some of the colors. So that's pretty fun. There might be a lot of options here, so I actually don't recommend playing around with this too much because you might get overwhelmed later, and you might see what I mean. All right, so I'm going to make my storyboard about school, and so I'm just going to choose some school backgrounds, and then let's say at the end of the day, this person is home in their bedroom. Okay. And I want to make the rug pink and the sky lighter blue. Okay. So now I can go to characters. It gives me lots of options for adults, teens, kids, sports, cultural. And then you'll see some time periods. I do have to say, when it says 1600 to 1800s, unfortunately, they are pretty much talking about 16 through 1800 Europe. I'm not really seeing a lot of cultures represented, so I think that's important to point out. Medieval, classical era, again, these are pretty European. So I'm going to choose an animal. That sounds fun. Put a dog. Dog's waiting for the bus. I can make it a blue dog if I want to, but I don't want to. Okay. And then you can adjust the size. Kind of just like Seesaw, you've got those adjustment circles. Okay, now I'm going to put a kid next to the dog. And you can adjust the clothing and the hair and the skin color of all of the people. So I'm going to do that. And you can change the color of the shirt and things like that. I'm not going to get too much into this, but there are a lot of options for you. Okay, so I showed you how to add characters and how to set your background. I'm going to show you how to make a text bubble because that is like the first thing I think of when I think of comic books. So I went to Textables, and then there's classic, comic, artistic. Oh, check out these onomatopoeia words. Pow, crash. So there's some like classic superhero kind of texts that you can use too. So I got this bubble from Classic, and then you can add text into it. So I'm going to add this person saying, "Hi, Spot." They're talking to the dog. And you can change the color of the inside of the bubble and the font if you want to. Okay. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what you can do with some of these option bars, these menus. So you can also add shapes. There's 3D shapes, symbols, arrows, numbers, hands. Interesting. Web and technology. And there's some emojis in there, so I thought you all might find that fun to look through the emojis. Science has some different science materials and symbols. So if you're making one about like outer space, that could be pretty cool. And then honestly, I just would not go into this worksheet tab. I don't think that you're going to find much in there. You can if you want to, but I don't recommend it. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you is how to add more slides and change your storyboard layout. So if you want a traditional storyboard layout, that's what we have here. But it looks like you can also, I don't even know. I'm going to come back to that because I'm actually not sure what that does. But if you want to add more cells, meaning like more panels to your comic, you can add cells. So right now we have like 1, 2, 3. You can see it shaded in. And let's say that I want to make this a 3x3. I know I'm going to have 9 panels, and I can always add more later. I'm going to update my storyboard. Oh, okay, so I lied. You can only have 6. I could have checked that before. Okay, so I'm going to make mine 6. That's the maximum that I can have. And so I can make a panel that is 6 long. So hopefully that's helpful for you. And then if you want to move a cell, you can click here and click on the cell you want to move, and then click where you want to move it to, and it will drag it for you. So there's some directions down here that are pretty helpful. I am done with that. And you can also copy and duplicate cells if you want. So if you ever do something and you're like, oops, I didn't want to do that, there's an undo button, and then you're like, wait, yes I did, there's a redo button. So there's lots of great features down here that you can use. And then to save your work, you're going to click on save. So you can only make 2 storyboards per week if you're on the free account. So if you end up buying a subscription, then you can make as many as you want. But I think 2 per week is pretty good. Like, I think that's kind of a lot. So you might choose to make one for fun and then make one for the challenge assignment. So if you have any questions, you can have your parents email me, and I will do my best to answer them in a timely way. And I hope that this video is helpful to you, and I hope you have fun doing this assignment. All right, have a great cold day. I will see you on Friday.